Thanks for tuning in to Revelations. Our next story comes from Graham, North Carolina, where we're visiting New Directions International, also known as NDI. And with me is Joseph Williams, the CEO for NDI. Thanks for joining us, Joseph.
Thank you, Chuck.
So tell us a little bit about New Directions International.
Well, New Directions, or NDI, was founded in 1968. We're an evangelical mission organization that reaches out around the world, also some domestically, but primarily overseas with leaders who target unreached people groups.
So you're reaching the unreached and taking the gospel abroad, making disciples of all the nations.
Right. We come alongside these leaders and equip them with the spiritual and physical tools that they're asking for. We don't come in with our own agenda. We just help equip them as they need to reach unreached people for Christ.
Good. I also understand you have a feeding program. Tell me a little bit about that.
The two groups we reach out to are the Christian leaders and at-risk children. And so we primarily specialize in feeding programs for children that give them the proper nutrition, give them an education, and give them the gospel.
Good. Well, stay tuned as we go behind the scenes and get some more interviews from people within the ministry, so hopefully you too can be inspired to get involved. God bless.
I spent a lot of my Christian life only thinking about what was going on inside my own church.
I mean, I think you hear about how people live in poverty and the struggles that they face.
There is a global need.
And what was going on inside my own community, my own town.
But I think it didn't become real to me until I was able to walk where they walk, and I was able to look in their eyes and see the hunger and the just suffering that they go through on a daily basis.
We've always been about coming alongside the indigenous national leader to do what we say are the 3 E's, to encourage, equip, and empower them to do what they can do in their country and their cultures in a way that we never could as expatriates.
New Directions plans trips every year. Each year we go to Asia, Africa, and Caribbean, many places throughout the world.
If we can come alongside of them and provide encouragement to them and provide some resources in the form of technology, in the form of training tools, in the form of even dollars that can enable them to do wider ministry, they can impact their community a lot faster and in more significant ways than any of us can if we go over there and live.
My heart and desire is to work with children and to work with women overseas who are at risk or in great need. And so I got to go with New Directions to Kenya and visit all the children's programs.
I had a middle school son with whom I was very eager to take the trip, and so we went to Nairobi and then up to South Hore to visit the Samburu, and that was probably the most meaningful trip and time I've ever spent with him.
Working really closely with NDI to now trying to put together a team so we can send our own missions team somewhere next year to get the gospel out there.
We need partners here to come alongside us and then come alongside our partners overseas. We love to have them go on kingdom adventure trips with us. We want to be a mission link between churches here and churches overseas.
We invite people to come and see with their own eyes what starts here with people wanting to help and ends with children being touched in an eternal way and lost people coming to Christ and following Him with all their hearts.
We found that when you reach out to the children and they accept the Lord, they become the most effective evangelists out there. They're now taking the gospel home because they're primarily in day program. They're going home and sharing the gospel with their parents and with their extended family. And we found they're the best at doing that. They're better at reaching their parents than we are. So why not help these children, lift them up out of poverty, but give them the gospel so that they can share it? We have started an initiative called Feed the Hunger. We believe that every follower of Christ has a hunger in their heart to serve others, the spiritual hunger, the physical hunger, and the emotional hunger.
Our ministry has always been about feeding the hunger that exists in other people. And wonder of wonders, in the process of doing that, it feeds the hunger for significance, for relevance in your own life.
Feed the Hunger is all about people that are wanting to make a difference. The Bible's clear, we're certainly not saved by our good works, as Ephesians 2 says, but we are saved for good works.
Feed the Hunger seems to laser in on some of the very basic needs for children, physical feeding, and then they have that hunger for spiritual food. And to be able to offer that as one focused program, I think is just a great opportunity that lies ahead for New Directions.
I too was fed through this journey and this trip. The hunger that was inside of me to grow deeper in my relationship with God was fed. So
Feed the Hunger is really a chain of grace that starts here in America with somebody that has a heart to help, and it's linked to a national partner somewhere overseas, and you may never lay eyes on that national partner overseas, and through the work of that national partner, children are being affected and lost people are being saved.
You can't get a better return on your investment than a saved soul. And you're witnessing to people, if their stomachs are empty, then you're in competition with an empty stomach. Most of the time they're not going to hear you.
There are a lot of folks who would be more than willing and more than ready to invest some time or some money in what New Directions or other ministries of its kind are doing. It just takes somebody to ask the question.
God is passionate about people, and God is passionate about the people who are watching this program, and we're passionate about the people that God has connected us with, and we'd like to connect them together for God's glory and for their good.